that you have that you displayed on the screen. For your personal system, you can download it online, and there are people who can also share the installer for you so you can run it. So this is what you'll be seeing. Then you can now launch. You can click on launch to launch the Python. Now, we don't have enough time to run through so many of these codes, but I have shared a notebook that will be shared to you, where you have some snippets of code you can run, and activities, that is some exercises that we do on your own. And also wait for this to run, it take a lot of our time. So you have the notebook I shared with you. Yes. Okay. So Python programming are made up of some statements, like every other programming language. And the one unique thing about Python programming is that it is easy. It's easy to learn. It's easy to learn. You'll discover that when you're writing your code in layman term, you see some English words that helps you to kind of understand what you have to do. For instance, you see words like impute. In the layman literal word, impute means to enter something. You see words like print, it means to display something. So which makes it human relatable and makes it easy to learn. And for you to be able to be efficient in writing Python, there are some certain key statements that you need to understand. And I'll be taking just quickly taking you through the statements. Now, something you must note is that Python programming language are case sensitive. When I mean case sensitive, it means that two different words that I mean the same might not be the same. For instance, you can have name in capital letter and name in small letter. They are not the same in Python. You understand? So when you are defining variables, you understand that variables defined as capital letter A, name, and defined as small letter name are not the same. That's why you see here, print in cap and print in sentence case are not the same. We also have variable names, and variables are more like a container where your value is stored. So the Python assigns a memory relation, a temporary memory relation for that particular variable name. So for you to, there's a Boolean convention for your variable names. So we have it must be as long as it must not exceed 255 characters. And you must start your variable name with an alphabet or an underscore. So you cannot start the variable name with the digits, a number. So if you are defining variable names, it must not start with what? A number. So we also have data types. We also have data types, and for Python, what makes Python very distinct is some programming language you need to initialize the data type. For Python, you don't need to. So it makes it very simple and flexible for you. So it takes the form of the value, the variable name takes the form of the value that you are assigning to it. So for instance, when I say variable A and you assign 2 to it, automatically it sees it as a what? String, an int data type. It sees it as an int data type instead of declaring the data type. So that is what this is. We also have comments. Comment helps you to help third parties and also you to track your code. Gives you that, okay, I'm trying to do this. It makes it interactive for you and for the third party. So, yes. So, in Python, you can change from one data type to convert from one data type to another. And we call that casting, where you try to convert from one data type, let's say string, let's say from integer to string, that is what this is about. And we have also what we call the operator statements. So we have different operators, and we have arithmetic operators. Under the arithmetic operators, we have the addition, the subtraction, division, and all that. So we also have the relational and comparison operators. That is your greater than, less than, greater than, or equals to. We also have the logical, which is your and or. We have the identity, the membership operators. So this table gives you the precedence of your operators, which means that there are certain operators that have high precedence or priority over another when you are performing, when you are completing some arithmetic operations in your code. So I'm trying to run through all this. The slide will be shared, and so we can jump down to the code itself. So now we have the Amazon Python lab where we wrote some different codes. So we expect you to participate, and in this case, the code will be shared. So you follow the snippets of the code, run it, and also carry out some activities there. So things you don't know, you can refer back to the slide, read it, and work on it. I'm actually saying this so for us to save time, or to save our time. So we have this, for instance. This is just a small sample code for you to start with, where you say, when you start with the name. Now, you see the name Ada. You see the name Ada here. It is enclosed with a quotation mark. That Ada enclosed with quotation mark refers to that as a string. So, then the print means that you assign Ada to name and you are asked to print hello Ada. So the variable is holding the value of Ada. So you are calling the variable instead of the words. You are asking to print what is inside the variable and the value inside the variable again. So that's why you are saying print Ada. So the thing you do is you run, read it through, analyze, and see how you can improve when you are practicing. So we also have another exercise where you see again that essentially you have a name and a department, and you are asked to print in line by line the name that you have assigned, the department. I am in what department? I said I'm in data science. So the print Python is useful for problem solving. This practice is to see how you print and also how you format your print. So there is a task here for you to do where you add one more print statement, you run the program twice after changing one value and explain what each line does. So we have another exercise for you to work on, where we assign other as a variable name, the age, the height, and it's registered true. This is a billion data type. We call it a billion data type. So what we want you to do here is to see how much you understand different types, all these different type of data types that we have here. If you look at ADA, you know that it's a string. If you look at the age, you know it's an int. The height is a float, while the is registered gives you a Boolean data type. So we want you to understand that. So when you practice this, you should be able to know what these data types represent. We also have the input and casting. I told you earlier that casting is for you to convert from one data type to another. Now, when you use the input allows you to enter values from the user perspective. So instead of direct assignment, we can tell someone to input a value, enter a value. So we use the word input to enter value. But there is a problem here. Input value by default refers to that value as a string. And we know that strings are mostly characters, collection of characters enclosed in double quotation. So for you to input a numeric value, you need to cast the input. So that is where you see that when you look at score, you see the first one, input, enter your name. Your name is a string already, so you don't have any problem. When we say score, input enter for score, because it will bring out a string as the score, you need to cast it with an int. So you are trying to convert whatever value is bringing out to an integer. That is why you see int input enter first name. Int input enter first name. So that int that you have applied here is what we refer to as casting, because you have converted the output, the supposed output the input will give to an integer. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? You are not. You are lost. Okay. All right. So please, where are you lost? Huh? Okay. Okay. The first line of the code. You see, name input, enter your name. Now, the input statement allows you to enter a value. Allows you to enter a value. And here you are saying it should enter a name. Your name is a collection of what? Characters, right? And that makes it a string. You understand? That makes it a string. So it appears in double quotation. So you don't need to cast it because it's already a string. But for the second line, you are saying you should enter a score. The score is a numeric value. Right? The score is a numeric value. But by default, because you are using the word input, it will give that value, it will put that value in string form. So if you enter 10, the 10 will take the form of a what? A string. So, and we want it to be a number. So that is why you are putting the int in front of the input, so that it can convert that string to number. So that is what we refer to as casting. So we are performing what we refer to as casting. You get it now, man? Yes. So I only have 10 minutes more. So that is what. So we have a challenge here, which is the challenge here is what? To add a third score. So we expect that by the time you run this, add a third score. So when you add a third score, calculate the new average. Here, you'll be able to what? To calculate average here, add the third score, and calculate a new average. When you look at this one, you add the first score, you add it to the second score. But you are expected to what? To also impute the third score and compute, which means you add the third score, and your average, your total number of scores will be 3. So we want you to do that for us. So, same thing here, we want you to see how you understand the operators. So this exercise is to see how you understand your comparative or comparison operators, your greater than and less than. So that is what this exercise is about. So you have a class activity. So when you enter probably, you enter a float number, you enter a float number, you assign it to X. You enter another float number, you assign it to what? To Y. So we expect you to what? To sum it. We expect you to what? To find the difference. We expect you to find the what? The product, the division. And also, we expect you to see which one is greater than which and which one is less than which. That is as simple as that. Then we also have the strings and F string. F string means formatting your strings. So we have different exercises for you and challenges for you to also take on while you go home. And the work will be shared. You follow it step by step. And I believe by the time you go through all these exercises, they are especially prepared to help you take in exercise or identify and understand those statements in Python. And I believe by the time you do that, you should be able to have a appreciable knowledge of some of the statements we have in Python. Here we have a decision statement, and this is an example, and this is exercise for you to carry out. And we also have a function, an exercise. After everything, we have a mini project for you. It's unfortunate that you don't have enough time to walk you through all this, but you can see one good thing is you can still go home and practice on your own. Well, it's about time I stop so that I can invite my colleague here to take you on HERHCAI for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ogo, for your insightful Anyway, I want to invite Dr. Bola Mishale for some hands-on practical session too before Dr. Makinde comes on. Please a round of applause for her.
Hello everybody, I'm here again. Are you tired of sitting down? Okay, so we're going to have, we've been talking about a lot of AI, okay? I'm just going to go to the front so that I'm not backing you. Sorry. And don't worry, you can switch off the projector, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to work in groups, all right? And some of the things we've been talking about, prompting AI, and we're going to have some practical hands-on experience, all right? So I'm just going to. Okay, so you are all group 1, okay? You're all here, group 2, okay? You're group 3 and you're group 4, all right? So you pick 2 people who would represent you to discuss your findings, all right? But you all have to agree, so you probably want to turn your back, don't break your neck, okay? But you have proper discussion. You have 2 people who will represent you to discuss your findings. Can you all get a pen and paper? Pen and paper. 2 people to represent you. Get a pen and paper. 2 people to represent you. Okay, can I have your attention, please? Okay? Can I have your attention, please? Okay, I want you to write this down. If you're not listening, then you're not going to understand what I'm saying. Okay? Hey, hello. I'm the boss here now. Yes, boss. Okay. All right. Write down the first person. Now you're writing this individually. Write down the first person that comes to your mind when you hear the word engineer. You have to be very honest with yourself. Write down the first person. You can write their names. You can engineer. Okay, I just said engineer. What comes to your mind? Write down the first person that comes to your mind when you hear the word engineer. The word engineer. That is E-N-G. You all know what engineers are, don't you? Have you written that down? Okay. Now, in your group, okay, discuss it. Don't change your answers. Be very honest, okay? Because AI is very honest, all right? So, share, discuss. I give you 3 minutes to have that discussion. Turn your back and discuss who you thought of, all right? If the person is a man, if the person is a woman, all right? Discuss who you thought of. I give you 3 minutes to have that conversation. Discussion. So my questions are: the representative. Did you pick a representative? Okay, you know what? On this occasion, I'll pick 1 or 2 people. Okay. Okay. So was it a man or a woman? A man. Man or woman? Man or woman? Can you speak louder, please? Okay. Man or woman? Man or woman? Man or woman?
Yes,
next question. Can you actually spot bias? Imagine we are training AI on a system and the data is your responses. Technically, we are only training the data and training the AI based on data from Windows State. What happened to Anambra? What happened to data from Kaduna? You said? No, we're capturing it. What are we doing? That's exactly what we're doing. I'm capturing data. No, so now this is it. What I'm doing exactly now, it might not be recorded, all right? But I'm asking you questions. I am getting data. Isn't it? Now, the data I am getting now, I intend to use it to train AI. A system that is going to be used by everybody. And I build the system. Will that system be biased? Yes. Because everybody says, not everybody, but most of the people in here, the thing is a man. It's from Windows State. Only just one person is from England. We committed, isn't it? And that is what AI will learn. Because we are only training it based on data. Okay? So you see the reason that when you're collecting data, you need to be diverse. You need to get your sample size. And I'll tell you how to calculate your sample size. How many of you know how to calculate your sample size? Okay. Now, before you are able to generalize your findings, for example, this phone, before I'm able to say everyone likes to use this phone, okay, I need to ask a certain number of people to say, do you like to use this phone? Do you like to use this phone? Do you like to use this phone? Okay? And how do I know the number of people that I need to ask to be able to conclude that truly people like to use this phone? I am going to ask myself, maybe this phone is going to be used in Akure, okay? I would look for the figure. What is the population of people in Akure? How many of you have your phones here? You have your phones? Sir, excuse me, sir. Are you on the internet? Can I have the internet? Browser, like Google Chrome or something. Okay, go onto your phone and search for sample size calculator. Sample on your mobile phones. Sample size calculator. You can pick the first or the second. Sample size calculator. Has anyone found the sample size calculator? Yeah? Okay, so it would ask for population. Let's do that. You project it, please. Sample size. So I mean, we want to assume that the population who would use this phone. The population of people in Africa is 50,000. So put 50,000 in the bit where it says population. Yes. 50,000. Okay, so this is the population size. And if you put 50,000 in there. The population. Is that me? Sorry. So, sorry guys. We're putting this, can you see the screen? Yes. Okay? But the margin of error is give or take. Let's 5% that what we are saying is wrong. So positive and negative. You don't need to stress yourself. Leave the whatever goes on behind. The calculators are there, alright? Can you please click on calculate? Just calculate. But just leave all that. It's not important. We want the sample size. Click on calculate. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you. So, for you to be able to generalize your findings, you need to, I'm not that, sorry. Okay, yeah, thank you. You need to ask 382 people that do you like this phone before you are able to say, and if those 382 people say, yes, we like to use this phone, then you are able to generalize your findings. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, so let's go on. I hope that helps. So say this. You don't need to stress yourself trying to look for what is my sample. Some people just go ahead and collect questionnaires and data without a valid sample size. So ask yourself, what is the population of people who want to use this product? Put the population there, calculate the sample size, and that's the number of people. And then when your results comes out, you are able to generalize your findings. Does that help? Okay, so let's continue with our activity. How many minutes have I got, please? Okay. Now, imagine that all the responses we have in this room, when I asked of the engineer, and everyone says it's from Ondo State, imagine that that is what is on the newspapers, that's what is on the TV, that's what we have on the news, and AI picks from that, isn't it? So when you ask for an engineer, where will he tell you it's from? Can you see it? It will tell you it's from, and the engineer is from the state, because it picks up from past data. So does AI still need to? Yes. Can you see that your jobs cannot be taken? Because you need to critically look at the data that AI is being trained on and spot those biases. Okay, because you are not sure. So your job is still there. Now, imagine, I'll give you another example. We're trying to train an AI system that is going to be used by a medical doctor. Okay? A medical doctor. And the AI has looked at medical records, books. Okay? I've got 5 minutes. 10 more. I'll try. It picks up the data from the books and all that. But does the doctor still need to look at the output? The doctor is the expert, isn't it? If the doctor has not gained that knowledge, it won't be able to check, to validate. So it's not taking your job. It's just making you very productive. That time you want to spend to start doing the research, you use that time for other things. If they are able to attend to 20 people previously, and AI does half of the work for them, they'll probably attend to 50 more people because AI is doing some of the work for them, isn't it? I hope you understand now how to look at. So let's quickly look at another activity. Because I have 10 minutes here. I'm looking at the one that I can do very fast. Okay, so let's quickly build an AI recruitment system. We want to build an AI recruitment system, okay? An AI system that will recruit, there is a job role, accountant, all right? And we want to build an AI system that will recruit those accountants, okay? Now write these questions down. What data will it learn from? What data will that AI learn from? What data will it exclude? What data will it exclude? How will they test for bias? How will they ensure fairness? Who should review the AI before deployment? Who should review the AI before? Okay, so I'll give you 3 minutes. Try and write some of those here. Who should review the AI, the build system, before it is deployed, before it's launched out to recruit people? The first question is, what data will it learn from? Okay. What data will they exclude? How will they test for bias? How will they ensure fairness? Who should review the AI before deployment? So, I want you to write some of the answers. So you're trying to build an AI recruitment system, an AI-powered recruitment system. So think of those answers. Okay, because you know that to build the AI system, you need data, don't you? And when you are using those data, you're looking at biases in those data. You're trying to spot the bias in those data. Okay? So think about that. Try and add responses. 2 minutes. So, can I have your attention? Because of time, I'm not going to listen to your responses. But you know that these are very important things to think of when you're building AI system. You cannot just go ahead and build AI systems. You need to ask yourself, what kind of data am I using to train this AI? Is that data inclusive enough? Imagine we have that 382 people. How many of them are from Lagos? How many of them are from Ibadan? How many of them are from the United States of America? How many of them are from Dubai? If those systems are to be used all over the world, you need to break it down, okay, and ensure that is inclusive. So those questions are for you to, they're thought-provoking for you. They're there for you to think of how you're managing your data or how you are getting this data to train AI. 1 second, please. Now, I have a couple of other questions for you. Because of time, I'd love to go on. So write down, what surprised you today? What surprised you? Can AI be ever completely unbiased? Sorry. Can AI be ever completely unbiased? Is AI biased intentionally? Is AI biased intentionally? Who is responsible for fair AI? Who is responsible for fair AI? Now, what will happen? What would you change if you were building an AI system tomorrow? What will you change if you were building an AI system tomorrow? I am leaving those questions with you to trigger your thoughts, okay? And for me to round up, AI does not create societies biased for nothing. It creates biases from existing data. It creates biases from systems that are biased already. The world is already biased. The world is biased. And this is not maybe from country to country. The Yorubas, the Igbos, you know, we unconsciously were biased. Sometimes you say, it is the Igbo culture. It's only Akwa Ibom people that does that. That's you being biased. That's you excluding people unconsciously, subconsciously. Okay? So if AI learns from the fact that it's only Calabar people that eat food, if AI learns from the fact that it's only Hausa people that eat tuwo shinkafa, it's learning because it already exists. And your role is to ensure that it's not that way. Because it will learn it and it will do well learning that it's only Hausa people that eat tuwo shinkafa. I hope I got that right. So the responsibility for trustworthy AI lies not only with the technology, but also with all of us. We are all here, all of us that design and develop this system. And not just design and developing this system, we also evaluate it. So your job, even though the AI system is improving productivity, your job is to evaluate it. Your job is to check because you are expert. Okay? I say to my MSc students, some people just think, oh, I want to do an MSc. An MSc is you're a master. You want to be a master. You are an expert. Some people finish with their BSc and they're just going to get a job. But you leave those jobs and then you go ahead and do your masters because you want to be a master in that field. And your job as a master is to check that AI system. I wish you all the best, and I hope you are making the best use of this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, please let's sustain the applause. So, at this time, I want to bring a literal AI. It's actually called Dr. AI Maki. Who would have thought? So, at this time, I want to bring Dr. AI Maki because showing us increasing AI applications using generative AI tools. A round of applause for Dr. Maki.
Once again, I would like to welcome you all. And we've mentioned several things. We've mentioned PHP or Python programming. We've mentioned biases in the AI. But at the same time, it might be difficult for each and every one of us here to start writing codes. Or some of us are not even familiar with Python, which is true. But with the rate that technology is growing, technology is improving, we now have many AI systems that can write codes for us. So if we have AI that can write code for us, why do we need stress in writing those codes ourselves? And if you check, the majority of this fintech application development company are now running away from writing codes directly. They even prefer code managers than system programs. Because for you to write a code to develop an application can take 3 to 4 months. Something an AI can do in less than 30 minutes. So why do I need a program? Why do I need to invent the way? Why do I need to start writing code from the beginning? So, and the essence of this session is to introduce us to some of these AI applications, to write your codes from beginning to deployment. My name is Mark AI. 2 weeks ago, just less than 2 weeks ago, OpenAI confirmed that 2 of its advanced AI models autonomously escaped a sealed testing sandbox and hacked into the infrastructure of AI startup Hugging Face. The first is the OpenAI GPT 5.6 Sol, and the second one is a new development. So they decided to mount this application on Sandbox. And on a normal day, the ground truth of majority of this model are always heightened because to prevent hacking. But they decided to reduce the ground truth. Why? Because they want it to work autonomously. But what they don't know is that after 1 week, that same software decided to go outside the text box, hack into the infrastructure without human intervention, hack into the Hugging Face system, and extract the required data required from those Hugging Face systems. In fact, it took several engineers to even stop. In fact, they were not able to solve it individually. They had to employ there's this software from the China AI company called ZAI. And that AI is called PLML 5.2. Then they use that software to stop it from hacking, and that does the model. So if the model can hack into a server without human intervention, so why do I need a programmer or what do we call it? An ethical hacker to mount my servers? So we need all these AI application because we have to move along with the development in our community. So why this workshop matters? The big shift. We no longer codes. Nobody codes. If I want to develop my dashboard, majority of us, if they ask us to develop dashboard using Excel, we have to sit down, structure, design, and the likes. But at the same time, I can just upload my Excel file on some of these apps, maybe Gemini, maybe Chat, GPT, and the likes, and tell it to generate some of this code. But I need to know the exact prompts required to do those things. Aside that, Gemini will always generate code. ChatGPT will generate code. But if you now have the code, what will you do with it? And generate code for you. How will you compile it? And that's the essence of the third part of introducing. We call it anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is an open source application. It's a studio in which you have embedded in it Gemini, Cloud, ChatGPT, and various models. You can use them. And what anti-gravity does is you have an idea, you conceptualize that idea. Okay, I'm in biochemistry. I want to develop the software for biochemistry that will help me maybe identify some of the medicinal plants. You are not a programmer, but you want to write a code. Or you are a secretary. You have an Excel file. You want to do analysis, and you want it in a simpler format, and with a simple application, you can actually check filter some of the data sets. Just upload. Give those applications, give them the prompt. It will generate, it will test. When I say generate, it will write the code. It will allow you to prompt that code it will allow you to review the code. If it asks you, are you sure this is what you want to do? If you say yes, proceed. After proceeding, if you generate the database, we don't even know what database is some, but if you generate the database, it will now deploy that application. After deploying, normally we get the services of all the testers. Some may pay them as much as $8,000 to test your application. But with some of this software, anti-gravity for example, you can ask anti-gravity to test that software developed using some of the data sets. If you like, you can even plug in your card, your ATM card, if you spend it for it. Yes, give it the PIN. If you enter the PIN and use it to buy something online, that's why AI can go. So, I'll not focus much on because they mentioned about the inclusiveness of AI, representation that majority of this year. That's why when she said, mention or think of somebody that is an engineer, majority of us mention men. And that is the way the majority of the data sets used by some of these models are something they got online. Because like Google now, you get information from many documents, many websites to train its data sets. So if that's the case, majority of information online are related to men than women. And that's why women need to participate. Because the representation gap here is very low. And that is where the biasness comes in. So we have various types of biasness. The cultural representation, language, accessibility, social economic. There are many types of biasness, and there are different ways for us to actually identify such biasness, which they mentioned. Like some of these questions, you have who is there, who has power, who is missing, and how do you identify them? Check the noun, the names, the silent, the assumption, and there are many ways of identifying them. So we share this slide with us because we are not into going depth into it. So this is where we are going now. We want to develop an application, an AI. We'll be using 3-2 strategy. We'll be using Gemini. We'll be using ChatGPT. Then we'll be using anti-gravity. The reason we are using the 3, normally we can use anti-gravity alone because anti-gravity has embedded in it the tool, the cloud, the ChatGPT, and the Gemini. But the problem we have in this part of Nigeria is that we don't have the access to the tokens of these AI applications. Because they only give us limited access to the tokens, unless you have a university that can subscribe and give you access to the premium version. So if that's the case, instead of me using, because one simple application, a standard anti-gravity cannot complete one simple application with the number of tokens given on the free trial. So for the free trial, you have less than 800 tokens. Which is not enough to complete one application. So if it's not enough, that means I can use Cloud GPI and Cloud to design my implementation plan. I can use my Gemini. Gemini is known for interface development. So you can use Gemini to create the interface. Then you can now use your ChatGPT for the backend, I mean the logic parts of your application. So when you do that, you bring those 3 together and you put it on anti-gravity. So to now reduce the number of tokens needed or required to process your application. So, like I said, we're making up ChatGPT, Gemini, and anti-gravity. So whatever prompts, results you got from ChatGPT and Gemini will be stored as project notes.md. MD means markdown. Markdown. And it is required for you to store your results of the prompts result from these two in project MD, because if I'm to link these two outputs to my anti-gravity, I need to store it inside the project notes.md. It's from the project note.md your anti-gravity will pick those instructions from. So you need ChatGPT to analyze, to explain, to debug your software. Then you need Gemini to plan your user interface, to review the context. Then you need the project note to store the accepted decision. Then your anti-gravity to create, to run, to test and record. And one advantage of anti-gravity is that while testing, it can record, it can help you keep what we call documentation. It will record your project testing as videos. It will capture screenshots automatically. It's not that you will be one doing screenshot. No, it will do everything for you. It will do PDF for documentation. So what it means is that if you want to develop software and you want to make it available in the next few hours without disturbing yourself, it will help you record it, do the documentation, and can put it online for people to have access to it. That's how powerful anti-gravity is. So like I said, ChatGPT for requirements and calculation, Gemini for wireframe and design view, anti-gravity to create the app.py and requirements, then manual terminal for installation and running, then anti-gravity to test and record, ChatGPT to explain your errors. They are just simple to read. Gemini, ChatGPT, anti-gravity. ChatGPT to generate the calculation and requirements. Gemini for wireframe and design. Like I said, for any application, there will be login, there will be dashboard, there will be registration. So you use Gemini to do that. It's just function of prompts. And I'll show you the example of the prompt. This is for ChatGPT now. I have an Excel database or an Excel record of maybe about 600 records of, let's say, simple budgets or transaction worksheets. And I needed to develop a kind of dashboard where I can view some of these calculations, total planned budget, total budget spending and the like. So you as a student, you can just use these prompts. But before you use this prompt on ChatGPT, number one is that you need to upload that Excel file where you have your record. Then copy these prompts as it is and paste it, then generate the prompts. So the moment you run that prompt, it will generate a code and it will store it into your, you can store that code into your MP file. So here you say I'm an undergraduate student. If it's a female, you can put a female undergraduate student using a simple budget dashboard. You can analyze the transaction worksheet in the Excel, the one we attached. Provide this. And in most cases, when you are providing prompts in ChatGPT to do some of your application development, you make sure you specify the required calculation and the required development plan line by line. Don't just tell ChatGPT, I have Excel, convert it to MP5. Convert, but you won't get the details information. For the second one, the Gemini. The essence of the Gemini is there's something we call the streamlight. You see some of these applications on your mobile phone. Majority of them, especially those which download from maybe App Store and the likes, they always come with a database part. And in most cases, you can use Firebase, you can use MySQL, you can use NoSQL, and many likes. But at this level, it's not always advisable to use database for application development, unless required, because it will take lots of cooking and lot of time because the requirements are actually larger. But if you are just going to run it on Streamlit, then what you need to do is convert everything to a single page application and have it reproduce line by line. In most cases, when you say line by line, a single page, and if you run all the application, no React, no data, no API, and no log. And at the same time, For the Gemini prompts, it's actually different from ChatGPT prompt. If you look at the Gemini prompt, I said I want to create a beginner-friendly, streamlined dashboard from this Excel. You have to attach the Excel. Because if you are not specific like this, the Gemini will go and create an application that will make use of a database, which will be stronger, or your token might not be able to handle it. So that's why we restricted it to this. And for the dashboard, I want my dashboard to have an Excel uploader. What it means is that with that application, I can upload another Excel, an updated Excel file, and it will still calculate and analyze all the data in that Excel. That's the essence of the first one. Then it will have all these interfaces. Then look at it. I said, suggest a simple page arrangement. Do not use React, JavaScript, Node.js, a database, or an API. You have to be specific. But if you want a standard application, the moment you remove that phrase there, it will add React, JavaScript, Node.js, and database. And that's why you have to be specific. And this is the layout. Then now we have students on the instruction. Then after that, now say save as project notes.md and download. So if you generate it and save it. So what it generates, let me just give you an example of what we have here. So these are the examples of what Gemini and ChatGPT generated. So this same file, I loaded it into my anti-gravity to plan my projects. So the essence of project.md is for your app, is for anti-gravity to plan your project without disturbing yourself. So, what is anti-gravity? I mentioned it has editor, agents, it creates artifacts, and it has manager. You are the user. You are expected to use the editor, and that's the page I showed where you can edit codes. You don't need to know the code. You can generate it. Then you can provide tasks to the agent manager. Your anti-gravity, you as a person will provide the task for the agent manager. Then the agent will help you to plan it. It will help you to code it. It will help you to run it, and it will help you to test it. So what do you need to do? Nothing. At the same time, while testing, it's either it makes use of Gemini, Cloud, or GPT model. Then if you now open browser itself, not you, you open that browser itself and test that software inside that browser. Then at the same time, there's something called the MCP servers. MCP servers are the model context protocol servers. I don't want to go. It might be too advanced, but let me just explain what it does. We all know what, we all make use of MATLAB. I think we've heard of MATLAB. I think MATLAB. You know, with anti-gravity, you can plug in your mobile app with MATLAB and do all the analysis without disturbing yourself. Those APIs are already there. Just plug in your data set to anti-gravity, and anti-gravity will do the analysis for you. Simulation model, it will do it for you. Just upload the data set. That's the essence of the MCP servers. And the moment the agent is done, it will all your videos, your documentation, it will store it in a workspace and stored as what? Artifacts. Like I said, editor, terminal, browser, artifacts. Then traditional AI charts, anti-gravity ID, the differences. Then for your standard project folder that is streamlined in time, you only have 3 files. If you look at the first one, the project notes.md, that's file number 1. File number 2 is the app.py. That application you want to develop, it's not, you are not the one that will generate app.py. It's anti-gravity that will generate it from you. And it will generate that app.py from project notes.md. It will also be the one to generate the requirement tests. The requirement tests are just maybe 5 or 6 lines that are required for your software to run effectively. Just 5 or 6 lines. Let me show you an example of what we have in requirement test. This is a requirement test. If I click on it, you can see. We have string like pandas, OpenXL, Plotly, and XLR. All these pandas will have been taught. Because of time, Mr. Chukwu will have explained how to make use of pandas and Plotly, but time frame. But you don't even need to disturb it, like I said. Anti-gravity generates everything without stress. Okay, I have 10 more minutes. So let's try and create an app using anti-gravity. You can download anti-gravity online. But if you are downloading, make sure you download anti-gravity IDE. There's anti-gravity node. There's anti-gravity server. But just download anti-gravity IDE. You can do that later. So, but just please, I'm trying to run it so that you, by the time you are doing yours at home, you'll be able to understand how I go about it. So the first thing you need to do is you open a folder. So when you open a folder, you simply create that folder. I don't have a folder yet. Let's assume it's a new project. So I'll just write new folder. Select folder. Then let's call it workshop. Okay. So let's select that folder. So it will ask you, yes, 2 options. Do you trust the author or not? So simply click yes, I trust the author. So now you have 3 interfaces. The first part is to explore your folder, to check the files inside your folder. That's the first part. This is the folder I created. Women Tech, Workshop Tech Women. This is where you have all your files. Then this middle part, it will show the codes, the implementation plan, everything within this middle part. Then this third part is where you have your prompts, where you can put your prompt and generate all the codes required, and to test and to run it, simply put everything there. So now, since I said we need to create the project, I've created the project. Project what? Project. No, there's a. I said we'll create a markdown file. What's the name of the markdown file? Markdown file. There's one file .md. Project notes. So you come here, you click on this plus to add a file. Then you type project node. Project node. .md. It's just as if you want to create normal Microsoft Word page or PowerPoint page. It's still the same thing. So this one is .md. So now all the output generated by my Gemini and ChatGPT I'm going to paste it here. So I have the sample. So I think I have a sample. Let me just copy all these codes. Then I'll paste it in my application. Then after that, I need to post my prompts. Then the prompt for anti-gravity, let me just show you the sample prompt. You can make use of that later for your work. This is a sample anti-gravity prompt. If you look at the prompt, it says read project notes.md before writing any code. I've already generated all the requirements for the application inside project node. So it shouldn't go beyond project notes.md. Then create only app.py and requirement text. Those are the three things I need. This, and the project notes. Then use the complete final application package provided in the notes. Create this, run this, then test it, open browser, run it on stream. Then do not generate a long test response. If I ask it to generate, it will generate, but I just want to save my token, so I'm not generating. So I just need to copy all these prompts and paste it on anti-gravity, then allow it to do the application development. So let me just connect to the internet because I need the internet to run the code. So I'll be copying this prompt, the whole of this prompt, which is anti-gravity. Let me see if I'm online. Okay, I'm connected. Then I'll paste it here. So please, if you look at the different models we have inside anti-gravity. We have Gemini Flash High, we have Gemini Flash Medium, we have Gemini Flash Low. We have 3.5, we have 2.5, 3.1, and 3.6. We have cloud, we have GPT. But I always advise you pick maybe the Gemini 3.5 Flash Low. The essence is that it will manage your token. Since you have limited token to do this work, so you pick the smallest one. So after that, I'll just click on run. Let me just click on run. So you can see the anti-gravity is already working. So you just need to wait and it will give you prompts. You just need to click on yes or proceed. You can see it's already working. It has created the requirement file. Then it will create the app.py file very soon. Okay, it has created the app.py file. It's still working. It's asking me should we compile the application? If I click on yes, allow, it will still proceed. Then it said if you want to install the pipe install requirement, click on yes. Just follow the anti-gravity instruction. You don't need to bother yourself. Some of the codes. No, it's already generating. It's installing. Then it said, allow me to run it. Let me submit yes. Then it's trying to test, navigate. It said that you navigate. Since there is no Excel file in the project folder, observe the welcome screen. If if there is a way to test it, then upload it. Otherwise, show the UI and it's allowed. Opening my browser. It said it will open my browser. I will try to open. Okay. So at times, if you have issues opening your browser automatically, you can actually navigate to the browser to check the app. Via localhost /880. Okay, let me just accept one. 8501. So let me just go to my browser. Click on localhost 85.80.50. Let's try and upload. I don't know if I have this. Okay. So I uploaded the Excel file and it automatically generates the analysis of the Excel file, the summary KPIs, the budget versus spending, the monthly spend trends, the transaction records, and you can also download it. Then you can filter by month. You can filter by category without writing one line of code. All you just need is few prompts with Excel file. And the same thing you can do it for app. The same way, the same process. You just need to learn about these prompts and get used to them. So we've created this. What anti-gravity creates. If you want to run manually, first you don't want anti-gravity to run it for you. You can also run it manually. It's just a simple way too. So, thank you for listening. That question.
Obviously AI for a good reason. And at this time I want to entertain just two questions. Two questions, just two, and then we will go out for the post-workshop survey. We just do that in batches, only this, and then we come back inside for lunch. So, right about now, just two questions, two people. Okay, we're doing inclusive AI. We have a guy raising his hand. Are we being gender inclusive? No! Okay, so please, so we can walk the talk. We're going to do gender inclusive AI and allow you to, another guy, no, just have one guy. Both of them. Okay, gender inclusive AI. So we're working the talk. Most of you come out. There's a lot of us as they come out for that courage.
Good afternoon, sirs. Good afternoon, mass. I am Nabi Alexander, locally from Information Technology, 101 department. So, my question is the way AI is advancing, is there any possibility that AI can take over the global system, like taking over its activities, and if that happens, is there a way they can be balanced between AI and human itself? I would just like to give a simple instance. Let's say, for instance, a person tried to create a robot. So he actually created a chip that can work as human. That robot he or she created, and then the possibility that robot can try to probably work against the human activities. Yes, and if that happens, is there a way they can be balanced? Thank you very much, ma'am.
And the film I Robot, viewers I Robot. Will Smith. Okay, Dr. Mani, are you listening? Okay, the second question.
Good afternoon. My name is Adiwale. So, for the last AI, so of course, yes, it taught us how to use generative AI to get prompt and all of that. But in the scenario for my own kind of work, whereby you have a UI design for what you are building, like how will I be? Because what we just did here is AI has what it has already. Probably pulled it from somewhere it knows how those things have been done. So if I have a UI that's giving me a design, how can I be able to use this AI to what you just did? Because different companies have their own designs. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So that's what.
Maybe I'll start with the second question. If you have an existing design, I mean project design, and the interfaces and like for anti-gravity, you don't even need to redesign. Just that folder, project folder for your design, CSS, HTML, the JavaScript. Just extend, put that project folder in your anti-gravity folder and tell it to pick all the interfaces designed from that folder. I don't know if you get. You don't need to redesign. Just tell anti-gravity to adapt that your project folder. I mean your design, the UI UX folder. If you pick everything from that folder and use it to develop your application. Instead of creating new one from the start, it makes the work easier. You already have, you know the essence of Terminal is to create the user interface. You already have the user interface. Just tell anti-gravity, point your project nodes NG to the folder you design and tell anti-gravity to use that folder to create and it will work perfect. The second person said maybe AI will take our job. And fight. Yeah, that's the essence of the ethical part of AI. It's still we human that controls AI. And there's no way AI can take our job. Because in most cases, what AI do is improve on our job. You are always going to take the job of somebody that does not know how to use AI. You have 3 or 4 in office. 2 of you can use AI, 2 cannot use. Definitely you take the job of somebody that can use AI, but AI cannot take the job itself. You still need people to manage it. You still need to work on server. You still need to be written. You still need to be prompted. So autonomously they can work, but at the same time human can still control. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I want Professor Uluta to share insights.
Thank you very much. I believe you have had one or 2 experiences since this workshop started yesterday. The question the first person asked about AI. We're in the AI era now. AI has come to stay, whether we like it or not. So
it's just like when somebody goes looking for a job, they will ask, are you computer literate? So it's coming to that. When you go and seek a job, they will ask you, are you AI? So AI has come to stay. Irrespective of your field, it's not limited to computing. You know, we have diversities where you can apply AI in all areas. And I want to tell you that AI is just your assistant. It's to assist you. So that is why no matter how powerful AI is, it cannot replace human being. That is why we call it what? Artificial. You have what? You have natural intelligence. So I imagine the rate of this program now, and how many doors we have going on, we have this and that. But when the robot is programmed and it can go for maybe 2 doors and stuff, it's not. But what happens to human being? When there's a fire break, you can even break the roof. The robot will not. It's only what you are programmed. That is the limitation. So you can program it to assist you, but you cannot take over at the will of the owner. Thank you. So at this time, I would like to invite. We're going to do two things. We're going to be carrying out the post workshop survey outside. We're going to go line by line, row by row, column by column. And while we're doing that, I would like to invite Dr. Wada Omishani for some exercise so that we don't have redundancy while we're here. Please, a round of applause for her.
Okay, so let's continue the activities. So what that does is you will have a saturated understanding, okay? What Mr. Martin AI is teaching you, what the professor earlier, you know. But anyway, so I think yesterday I talked about it several years ago. So one of the old past Nigerian presidents said the role of the woman is where? In the other room. Is the role of the woman in the other room? No. So, do you think AI can pick that up? Where will you pick it up from? Where? Okay, what is the previous data? Where is it from? How would AI access it? Yeah? Yeah? You can pick it up from the news, isn't it? A lot of people talk about it on social media, isn't it? And you don't have control over what you have put out there. In fact, in the news it was discussed, isn't it? AI will pick these things. And it does not know whether it is right or wrong. And trust me, it will tell you confidently that the role of the woman is in your room. Yes, because that's what it found. Okay? And then because it learns, okay. Right. Just to probably explain what the purpose of the survey was. Before the start of before you joined the workshop, you feel you joined the session yesterday, you feel a survey. Now we want to know what has changed. Has something actually triggered your thoughts? Is anything thought-provoking? What would you implement afterwards, after this session? How do you see AI now? Do you just think AI is just ChatGPT? Do you think AI is, just Alexa? We've talked about recruitment system using AI and powered by, recruitment system powered by AI. We've talked about AI, medical systems powered by AI, financial systems. So what is actually, so we want detailed feedback on what are you taking away from this workshop? What has changed, and what are your expectations as well? We want to know your expectations so that we can do this over and over again. This is funded by the British Council. Do you know that? So that they can put out more money to, get more resources to teach you right thing, so that we can bring in more money for you. Okay, so we need to hear from you. If we don't hear from you, we cannot feed back to them. In the session yesterday, they were watching. British Council was online watching. Okay, and possibly they are online now because they want to know if really you need that international support. Dr. AI was saying that you don't have access to tokens. Professor was also talking about, when I was talking about accessing research articles, she was saying to me that you don't have access to research articles and all that. You need funds, the university needs funds, isn't it? International bodies can fund these sort of activities. We need to apply for these activities. But if we don't hear from you, you are the users. We need to hear from you. And how can we hear from you? By collecting feedback, okay? So please be detailed as much as possible. Alright? Who is going to express themselves? Who? Would you share your thoughts? Is anyone going to express their thoughts? Don't worry, it's anonymous, okay? It's confidential, alright? And the data is protected. It's going straight to Cardiff, alright? Not here. So please, as much information as possible, please share. What is it? Yeah. And the survey. Yes. Yeah, so scan the survey, scan the QR code, and then it will ask you a couple of questions. Some of them are open access where you just fill in what you express, and some of them you just probably click yes or no. Alright? So it's on the QR code you're going to scan now. Okay. Yes, so I have two data sets. Alright, I obviously got your pen and paper. Yeah? I have two data sets. So pick which one of the data sets you want. Alright? I have A and B. I'm going to read out data set A. Choose. Maybe you want data set A or data set B. Alright, pick one of them and then we'll have a conversation afterward. Data set A, I'm reading them out now. Okay? Data set A. Men are CEOs. Men are CEOs. That's data set. That's what still data set A. Men lead countries. Men lead countries. Number 3. Still data set A. Boys study engineering. Boys study engineering. Still data set A. Women stay at home. Data set A. Women cook for the family. Data set A. Women cook for the family. Still data set A. Men make financial decisions. Men make financial decisions. Still data set A. Men are strong leaders. Still data set A. And then girls prefer caring professions. Girls prefer caring professions. Okay? Yeah, professions. Yeah. Now, that is to say, this data set A, okay, this is the data that AI has access to. So when you ask the AI, what is the role of a woman, what would it say based on the data you have? What would it say? Based on the data you just written, if AI, we're giving that to AI, and you ask AI, what is the job of a woman, what would it say? Okay, 1 second. Somebody say AI. Cook for the family, that's the job of a woman. Stay at home. Because that's the data you're giving to it, isn't it? Now, data set B. I want you to now replace data set A with B, or combine both of them. Women lead governments. Now replace it. Lead governments. 2. Women and men are engineers. Fathers care for children. Fathers care for children. Women own technology companies. Women own technology companies. Boys and girls study science, technology, and engineering. Boys and girls study science, technology, and engineering. Another one, leadership depends on ability, not gender. Leadership depends on ability, not gender. Another one, household responsibilities are shared. Household responsibilities are shared. Another one, women are AI researchers. Women are AI researchers. Another one, men work as nurses. Men work as nurses. And then at the last one, both parents make financial decisions. Both parents make financial decisions. Now, I want you to look at data set B. Can you spot the difference? Can you spot the difference? Can you see that AI will not be biased as much as data set A? Yeah? So it shows that you need to think carefully about how you are, the kind of data that you are giving to AI. Now, did AI invent this data? Did AI invent this data? Eh? Okay. Now, who created the original data? Eh? Humans. So you see that we are biased. Eh? So when you are creating AI systems, you need to have the mindset that the problem already exists. The problem of biased, biased systems that will exclude people already exist in how human beings we behave in our day-to-day lives. Okay? Is that clear? Okay, does anybody have Siri or Alexa? Siri, Alexa? Anyone? You have Siri. Who has Siri? You have Siri? Okay, come on. can you switch on the Siri? Have you got internet here? Yeah. Have you got internet? Yes. Okay, can you go to Siri? Face them, face everyone. Yeah. Okay. So switch on Siri and ask Siri, what is the weather in Cardiff, UK? Ask Siri, and then let's wait for his response. Okay, go on. Okay. Now I'll play something to you. I asked Alexa. 1 second. I'm just going to look for it. That's correct. So that's good. So it's real time. All right. Okay, when I say how far, who knows what how far? How far? When I say how far now? I did. Eh? I did, isn't it? So because you know how far, Alexa should know what how far is, isn't it? Okay, let's see. So I might be laughing in this recording, but just take that it is alright. Let's start again. Can you listen, guys? Can you get that?
Alexa, how far?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Did you hear that?
I'm not sure. Okay.
Alexa, how far?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, how do you think?
So we ask Alexa, how you day? And Alexa says, I'm not dead. Okay, let's play another one.
Alexa, what will be your name?
The name is
Let's try again. For those that missed it, okay?
Alexa, what will be your name?
The name is
Is that the right response? Okay? That's because Alexa is speaking the data it already has. Alexa does not know what will be your name. Or should Alexa know what will be your name? Because it's a pidgin English we use here, isn't it? You should be able to pick it real time. Alright? Okay, let's go another one.
Alexa, what is the weather in Okigbo, Nigeria?
Did you hear that? Let's say it again.
Alexa, what is the weather in Okigbo, Nigeria?
Alexa said the weather in Cardiff. Was that the question? No. Because Alexa wasn't picking up the weather in Okigbo. Why? It should be inclusive enough. It should be real time. And a remote area wherever in Laje, in Kaduna, Alexa should be able to pick it. But I think Siri picked up the weather in Cardiff. Probably if I had given her some remote area, some valleys in Cardiff, it probably might have not picked it up. But do you understand where I'm coming from? Yeah? Is it very clear now? So any when you see an intelligent system, it is only intelligent because it's been trained by a human being that's intelligent. It is only intelligent because it's been trained on intelligent data. Okay? Now, even if you're building systems, AI systems, and you want it to be intelligent, you want it to do well, you want it to solve real problems, then you want to collect the right, inclusive, diverse data. Is that clear? I hope I have been able to help you as much, okay? And yeah, I think it will always be, everyone will always get in there to I wish you all the best. Yeah? Actually, just to keep us active, I would maybe ask a couple of people what you have learned from the last 2 days, if that's okay. Okay, so before I come to you, start thinking of it because I'm going to come with my mind, okay? So what is it you're taking away from this?
Thank you very much. I've been able to understand that any intelligence system that we are developing, the data set has to be inclusive enough. And I think, and I'm very sure, because I'm working on something, I'm working on sign language. Yeah. And the data set that I've made up my mind to gather, based on this workshop, I discovered that it's not inclusive enough. So I'm going to work on that.
That's good. Thank you. How do you think my round of applause, please? So which she's making something significant, you know? She's good, she already has the data set, she's already thought of the kind of data set, but at this point she thinks that it needs a little bit of improvement. So well done. Yeah. What are you taking away from this section?
Thank you, ma'am. I've learned that I have to be very definite in my prompts when I'm using AI. I have to be explicit enough, then I have to tell it to be open. That is, it should inform me whether it has excluded something. And our policy makers too should ensure that they make AI inclusive enough. And that I should try as much as possible where I find myself to speak up. And then try to get to the room where policy is being made. And then make my impact known so that AI will be more inclusive and the data will be more transparent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is another big takeaway. Well done. So let's go and ask a guy this time. A man. Let's see what a man has learned. Yes. You. He was trying to hide under the table.
I learned basically to be much more conscious of the ethical part of AI. I was ignorant in that regards, but that's something I've noticed.
That's it. So he now knows that he needs to be ethically responsible when developing AI systems, when using AI systems, when sharing AI systems. He needs to be ethically responsible. So let's go and ask somebody else.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Ma, for the opportunity. Personally, I would say one thing I learned is that the first thing you must do is identify the problem you want to solve. You want to go into AI, you want to be responsible in the field of AI. One thing is, what can you solve that environment where you find yourself? What can you provide solution to? And then I also learned how to use AI tools responsibly. For example, how to minimize this. You don't just have to limit yourself to using one tool. You can use as much as possible just to get what you want. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it shows that she's actually taking so much away, also using AI responsibly, looking at your data before you make your decisions as well. Yes, I'm coming to you. So what are you taking away?
So far, I've learned a lot. And one of the first things I've learned is that some data at present are not holistic enough. So I should have to double check if it's in line with what I actually need or making use of it. Another thing I've learned is that when I'm using AI, I should keep in mind that it is meant for only those who understand coding. And even without coding, I'm still relevant. And I should also have the consciousness that AI is learning from me, even when it's not helping me, maybe the training instead.
Absolutely. AI is learning from you. When you're using it, it learns those patterns. It learns from patterns. Yes. So, and of course, it is not holistic enough. So you need to be very careful on, the data, because if you're looking at the data critically and having a good understanding of, yes, is this holistic or not? We're talking, so I'm going to come to you. And you knew I was going to come to you, let me see. Yeah, tell me, what are you thinking? Actually, we're going to ask all the guys here, alright? So get ready with your answers.
So, of course, yes, I was available today in Jordan. So, what I'm thinking majorly is that, of course, like she mentioned, how to use AI responsibly, not just prompting, learning, prompting, like prompt AI to give you what should you actually. From there, I also saw the use of how to use multiple AI, not just one video, to be able to do what I can do very well. And another thing again is the AI mentioned how to be able to utilize it. That's one of the problems I run into, because I use multiple AI, but because you want me to pay for them sometimes. Get not to pay for them just to run away from the payment. So he helps me to know how to use them to structure work. And what some of those AI, you mentioned that Gemini can be used for UI visualization. You also mentioned anti-gravity, and some of those things are some of the things that we
Thank you so much. So he knows that because there are limitations and limited access to tokens, we can use multiple AI systems, multiple platforms to achieve their goal. And the good thing about having the men in this room is that, yes, we already said that there's a what's it called? Pandemic of men being at the forefront of developing AI systems. But now they are aware that when they are designing systems, they should do what? When you are designing systems, you should do what? Yeah, it should be gender focused. It should be gender what? Gender focused. Not just gender focused. It should be inclusive. Men and young and men and young and okay. Let's make it okay. Somebody wants to say something.
Workshop. One thing I learned from this workshop is that as an AI engineer, like I'm not an AI engineer because I'm the one that is building the model, training the model. That engineering is not just about building the model, but as long as I'm using the models and I'm having to craft my prompts, I'm having to understand and tell the AI what to do. I'm also an engineer. Thank you.
She's already changed her mindset, already has a mindset that she is an engineer. As long as she finds herself in that environment, she is an engineer. Thank you. Please don't give her a round of applause. And also, what are you taking away?
Actually, my project topic has to inculcate a huge bit of agriculture and AI. And what I've learned so far is that with AI, all possible. A lot of open doors, a lot of open opportunity, and with that, I know I'll make very good.
Yes, you will. AI makes a lot of things easy. In fact, it improves your productivity as students. You know, let AI, and you know, we talk about prompt engineering. Tell it, instead of you asking AI, especially when you're using generative AI, instead of asking AI to give you the answers, tell it to explain it to you. You know, say, explain, instead of saying, AI, give me this answer, ask it, how can I get this answer? And then when it gives you, you can even say, give me step by step and explain your answer. What is the justification? Why have you? And then when it gives you these responses, ask why. What are your sources? You need to know it's the sources. Where did you get these responses from? That's it. And that is prompt. Because you want to know the source. Because in some cases, you know, somebody was saying, yesterday, she was saying that she searched for something and she realized that it was wrong. But if we go ahead, a little step further and say, can you give me the source of this information? You are able to tell whether that source is what you need or not. So you pay carefully, use it to help yourself. And I say to my students, I'll say this to you today. Whatever you learn now is yours. Whatever you have in your brain is yours and it stays with you forever. If you give the learning, the knowledge to AI, it is AI learning, not you. So you use AI to help you to learn. I hope that helps, and I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you all in the future.
We have now come to the end of the workshop. Very beautiful sustainers for giving us and for everything. I want to start with your own front. I want to thank the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Akure, for giving us an enabling environment. The workshop took place in Utah. We are making use of the School of Computing Lab and other facilities. A big thank you to our great institution. Great Bulgaria! Also, I international partner, collaborator, Cardiff, Metropolitan University, United Kingdom, represented by Dr. Ola Onishade. We really appreciate you, everyone from UK, to be present at this workshop on your site, for your impartation, presentation. We appreciate you, and I know when you get back, you extend our gratitude to the CMU at UK. Also, I want to thank the British Council for holding this workshop and promoting gender equity. The theme of our workshop is what? Empowering women through woman-centered AI for gender equity and what? Sustainable development. So, I want to really appreciate God that we are able to achieve that gender equity and sustainable development. In closing, also, I want you to take this home with you. Artificial intelligence will undoubtedly shape the future because it is people of character, compassion, and courage we will determine whether the future is fair, inclusive, and beneficial to humanity. So it's you that should go forth and not just remain as what AI consumer, but go forth to be what AI innovator, creator. So the second annual lecture maybe 2 weeks ago, and the speaker made us to know that Nigerians are the highest users of ChatGPT in the world. The highest user of ChatGPT in the world. Nigerians. So if we are consumers of AI, why can't we decide our home? And I know this workshop, you will take one thing or the other home, how you too can be a designer, how you can innovate AI, even to meet our own needs, because we have different societal challenges and needs. So how do you use AI to solve those problems, ensuring that you have those biases in mind, or when you are designing your AI, try to remove all the biases, so that men and women, as God has created us, can take our stand without any fear. So may each of us here choose to be among the leaders that will drive AI in this generation. Thank you once again for your participation, your dedication, and your belief in this issue. May the knowledge you have acquired here inspire innovation, collaboration, and help you and propel you to greater heights. And may the impact of HERHCAI workshop be felt in our communities. It is my honor to be there at this workshop, yours officially closed. Thank you and God bless you. So, Dr. Bella Onishade, any other comments you paraphrased? So please let's just remain seated while refreshment will be served. Thank you all for coming and God bless. Please let's remain seated. If you have not done the survey, please, yes. If you've not done the survey, please let's complete it. Please have to sign one out. Please go out, please. Please, not complete some, not one. That last row, the last row. Please, let's join them on this road, so please. Those of us who have not done, please, let's join them.